Please stand.
Put your right hand over your heart.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Today marks the 24th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, an event that changed millions of people's lives in an instant. Now we have survivor stories and remembrances from reporters Antonio A. and Mark F.
September 11th. This marks the 24th anniversary of the national tragedy 9/11. When two commercial airplanes crashed into the World Trade Center, another crashed into the Pentagon, and yet another crashed into Pennsylvania Field. When passengers united against the hijackers and stormed through the cabin to take control of the plane, today we will be sharing stories of remembrances from our own Sierra Vista faculty and staff.
I think we were all kind of freaking out a little bit. We didn't know what was going on. My mom called me when my dad was about to drop me off right up the street at Canyon over there. And we were like, what are you even talking about? Yeah, confused, scared. We didn't know really what was happening. I just heard there was a terrorist attack. And then by the time I got on campus at school, I remember I was in my Spanish 2 class, and the teacher, she didn't teach at all that day. She just turned the TV on, and we just kept watching the airplanes crash into the towers over and over and over again. And we were just wondering oh crud, is this gonna happen here in LA? New York's a big city, LA's a big city. So years later when I went to college, which was in 2004, a lot of my teammates, I went to school in New Jersey, a lot of my teammates had family members that were first responders at 9/11. In fact, one of my teammates' fathers was in the tower when it first happened. He was one of the first people on scene. And I remember her telling me stories about how scared she was that day. I met her dad a bunch of times. He was a super cool dude. And I know the people in New York, it was really hard for them. And, they were scared about family members and friends. And it was a really scary time. And then I remember the year I graduated was 2008, and the 9/11 memorial was built, and we went and saw it, and it's pretty emotional. I definitely recommend visiting New York and visiting the memorial, and especially the museum.
My name is Mr. R. Kelly, and I'm the band, choir, and orchestra teacher here. We have Dr. Mike, our trumpet coach, Blake Estrada, our bass coach, and Brandon Wilkins, our woodwind coach as well.
Okay, thank you for introducing yourselves. You guys seem very interesting. If I may ask you some questions about September 11th, would that be okay?
Of course, yes.
Okay, so my first question is, where were you during the time, and what were you thinking after it happened?
I was in 9th grade, so not too much older than you guys here, and I was in a computer class when we found out. That was back when they had computer classes. I'm not sure if they even do those anymore. But I was in a computer class finding out, and it was devastating, hearing in real time what had happened.
I was turning 5 at the time, because my birthday is actually on 9/11. So I don't remember anything because I'm of the age group that seems to not remember anything. So my parents were probably devastated.
I was in 8th grade, and I was in bed because we had a late class started late. And then when we went to school, I just remember all the teachers were watching TV, and no one knew what was going on. But I remember my first class, we had to write down what we thought was going on. And I was in English class in 8th grade.
Yeah, I was in 3rd grade, and I remember that morning, my dad had the TV on. We never watched TV in the morning, but for some reason the TV was on and we were watching the news. So I went to school knowing what happened, and then I heard about it more in school. But because I was in 3rd grade, I didn't really have a sense of the impact that it had at the time, but I just knew it was a big deal, but I wasn't sure exactly why.
Yeah. Okay.
Later in life, I met people when I was as a musician who were from New York, but not when I was that age.
At the time, no. But later, one of my the trumpet teacher that I studied with in school. His name's Brian Litch. He was actually about 10 blocks away. And so he was like, he told me a story, just heard a big boom, and then like everything kind of was like in shambles, and it was mayhem in the city. But that's all I know because I was just too young at the time to really know anybody that day.
We had a family friend that was in Brooklyn and that saw it happen and saw the second plane hit.
I was actually a student at Saugus High. I was getting ready for school, and on my way to school when we heard about the planes and the towers, and it was just something that very unbelievable. And I remember watching it on TV at the schools and just taking all the news in, just something that you never thought would happen. And in 6th grade, I actually have a picture of standing on top of one of the Twin Towers. And I just got goosebumps saying that right now.
I remember I was getting ready for work, and I was watching the news on TV, and they were reporting on it. And I originally thought, oh, somebody flew into the World Trade Center, it was an accident. And then once we saw the second plane go in, we knew that wasn't an accident.
Like Mr. LaPlante, I was getting ready for work too at the time. I remember we had the news on in the morning, and we saw what that first plane hit the towers, and we couldn't believe what we saw. We too thought it was an accident, and at the time I was getting ready for work at La Mesa Junior High School.
That's all the news for today. Take it away, Serena.
Hi Bison, it's your host Serena L, and this is your school news for Thursday, September 11th. Hey Sierra Vista, please make sure to report to your homerooms today during Relax for our cash and check-in days. Make sure you are signing those pledges so if you want to have any fun this year too. Girls Who Code is starting. Want to learn how to code, build projects, and join a community of creative tech-savvy girls? No experience needed. Weekly meetings are starting soon. Come to the Wellness Center to learn more and sign up. Let's code a future together. Hey Bison, do you want to get the most up-to-date information from ASB? Then why not join our ASB school-wide Google Classroom? We update it regularly so you can always have the best information possible. Here's the code to join: XEAF5742. Also, don't forget to wear your SB Spirit shirt on September 17th. That's all your school news for today. I'm Serena L, and this is SB Life.